Business value, business value, business value. If you ever go to any data conference, you probably know that every single vendor will tell you that their tool brings business value, whether it's through big data, cloud, machine learning, or anything else. And I don't blame them. They do have a point, but aren't you tired of hearing the same message? I mean, why doesn't it really work? Well, here's the harsh truth. No data stack or tool will bring business value until you figure out what are the biggest challenges of your company and what can you realistically do to solve them. Sometimes the reality is such that you might not even be able to solve the problems that you want to, and that's okay. If you truly want to bring value with data, start by thinking like a product designer. Hi, I'm Stan from Ellie.ai, and over my career, I've helped tech startups and growth companies figure out new valuable ventures for their businesses. If you want to bring value, you need to start with your users. Figure out who are your customers around the company and interview them to understand their pains and who has the biggest struggles. These conversations will provide you with ideas of what solutions could be of value. Once you've identified something worth exploring, it's time to think of a possible solution. In the data space, solutions can be of all sorts of forms and factors. It can be a dashboard that provides valuable insights, a process automation system based on information, or it can literally be just a number, for example, a KPI. And I would always recommend not to spend too much time on the details of this solution at this stage. Just having something that seems somewhat possible to do is good enough. Once you have that somewhat realistic idea, comes the part that I've seen too many times not focused enough, which is creating a personal user story or a pitch for getting that buy-in. User stories create a personal connection to whatever product you're building and help you see whether someone would actually be ready to pay, try to use, and believe in your idea. For example, let's say a CFO says that the company is losing some of its customers and they don't know why. A solution could be a dashboard that would show different metrics around the customer, their service or product usage, which would give insights for decision making. Showing a dashboard mockup and explaining what things it can show is a great starting point. It will definitely look cool and get some wow effects, but once the initial excitement is gone, that's it. It's just a dashboard with features that someone still has to be convinced to use. And why should they use it in the first place? So here's how we can fix this. Let's use the same example. So the CFO says that the company is losing some of its customers and they don't know why. This time, instead of showing the dashboard and its features, let's come up with a personal story. Let's say the CFO's name is Jim. So Jim, imagine one day in the near future you could come to a board meeting and present a plan on reducing churn. A plan that isn't just a hunch, but a thoroughly analyzed plan backed by data. Imagine you could look at any of the products we're offering and see in seconds which exact products are failing in churn, what are the main pain points in the user flow, and what are the problems that have to be addressed to solve them. For example, you could see that product Y is failing because the 30-day retention of the customers that we are bringing from this new market is practically zero. So money spent on the user acquisition campaign brings low results, and due to the size of the campaign, it also skews the overall churn data. Imagine you could get these insights in seconds without having to spend months, Jim, trying to figure out through meetings why our churn is so high, what's causing it, and just losing time, the precious time. Can you see the magic here? It's not just about the product. It's a solution with a clear value proposition specifically for Jim's situation. And now comes the pitch. It's probably the scariest part. You have to pitch your story to somebody like Jim in your company and the solution to your potential customer. A pitch should be not too long and it should cover this problem, the solution, what it takes to make it work. And if you get enough buy-in and excitement from your stakeholders, then congrats. You've succeeded, you're on to something, and it's time to start evaluating your prototype. Okay, so you have this great idea, your customers tell you, yes, we want it. Now comes the reality check. What is the minimum viable product of your concept to solve Jim's problem, for example, and what would it take to build it? Since we're talking data specifically, one good way to evaluate your data product is via data models. You can start by designing a conceptual, also known as the business data model. To do so, you can gather with your domain experts and try to figure out what data you need in order to make your data product come true. Ellie is a great tool for such discussions as it offers easy collaboration and data features in one tool. Next up, you need to explore the data available that could be of use to your data solution. Now I know it can be a challenge, but it's a crucial step. Since you don't know what you have, you cannot really commit to making it work. A good way to look at the data assets you have is to derive logical data models. So next, you want to compare the data you have, your logical models, with what needs to be the desired outcome, so the conceptual models. Create a high-level plan with time estimates. A good rule of thumb in tech projects specifically is whatever you do, always double the time. And once you have your estimates ready, compare them with the problem you're aiming to solve and how much money, how much monetary value it's going to bring. Does the math make any sense? If the return on investment is not clear or barely hits the mark, it might not make sense to pursue the challenge. If your MVP clearly can be 5-10x of value compared to the time and money spent, then it seems you found a goldmine worth exploring. But more importantly, if you can't clearly justify your idea, then just kill it. Killing things as early as possible is probably the hardest trick I had to learn when working with startups, but it's extremely powerful as it helps you focus only on the things that provide business value. At every step of the process, always ask yourself, is it worth continuing, or should I just get back to the drawing board and kill my data product idea? Because the faster you fail, the faster you can regroup, rethink, and find something truly worth building. So there you have it. I hope this video gave you something to think about and gave you maybe a fresh perspective of what's business value in the data space. Let me know in our team if you'd like to see more of these type of business perspective type of videos. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to share them and let's have a discussion. I'm Stan from Ellie, and thank you.